Hello, everybody. Welcome back from our second break. And we're going into our third and final hour here of the first episode of an ongoing series for 316 role playing. John, take it away.
Yeah, you guys are in Lucille's dropship, boosting down for the planet for Valley 4 and partially constructed or mostly destroyed, depending on how you look at it. Operating base 1709. So you guys punch through the cloud cover. Lucille is she's a crazy bit of a crazy pilot. She comes in hot and fast pretty much always, but looking over her shoulder out the canopy here, like she's flying a little faster and crazier than usual. Probably a little bit freaked out by the strange order that you guys received about your IFF. You can barely see because you're so tall, Sergeant. You can kind of see her like early warning radar system and that kind of stuff that's in front of her. And she keeps kind of glancing at it with a real hard look. And as you come out of the clouds, Pasternak, you see the mountain range ahead of you, which I don't think you saw on your other drop. Maybe it wasn't Lucille, so that like the door was shut. But it's coming up real fast, and she banks hard and does this real high G turn, and then she's like doing a 180 and swinging around, and the valley swings into view, and you see from the air like, oh yeah, okay, that's Valley 4. It's got very steep peaks on either side, not like Grand Canyon crazy tall or anything, but pretty significant straightish canyon sides. There must have been a river or something that cut this valley a long time ago, but it's dry at the bottom, and it's about a couple miles maybe across at the bottom of the valley. It's mostly like loose scrub brush, like mesquite trees, that kind of stuff is what it sort of looks like. There are some taller, heavier, they look like trees. Pasternak, you've seen these before. These are some kind of weird rock formations that are all these little bits of shale that like are in these triangular mound. They look like evergreens almost from the air, but you've seen them up close, and they're actually just these weird rock piles that are fairly stable. Like you can push them around. They're big, these big rock things. So there is some cover. Lucille comes in, and over her shoulder you see the base. It's got these quick deploy plastic wall segments that have been put in place. Some of the berms behind them were moved. There's an APC with a big earth mover attachment on the front of it that's down there. It's got a giant hole in it, and there's a big crater next to it. The base itself is this prefab like kind of trailer type pod things that they hook up when they first land. One of them has just been obliterated by some kind of explosion or something, and its debris field is scattered all across the interior of the walls. One whole side of the walls is all blown apart. And there's a dropship. So Lucille doesn't stop. She passes the thing, not at full speed. This thing can go like Mach 4 or whatever, but she goes whipping past the base real fast and low, and then like dips her wing and looks and just like eyeballs everything herself, and you guys can see as she turns. There's a drop ship downed 500 yards or so away from the base, but it's still like smoking. The base itself is like kind of dead and quiet. Oh, I forgot to say, it's kind of like twilight, just before sunset. It gets darker as you come down into the valley, and she's making this real hard pass with the wing down, and she's going to turn and maybe make another run. But you see the dropship, and there's still like fires burning in the wreckage there, and one of its wings has been blown off. It came in hard. There's a long furrow in the ground, and you see the wreckage of the wing in the distance. But it looks fresher than the base is the point I'm trying to make. And when Lucille sees that and like dips down, she's like, son of a bitch, and she rolls sideways, and you see and hear a missile trail go and go whipping past the front of the dropship. Like no warning sounds, no like radar contact or anything. The thing just goes like an RPG, maybe like an unguided. You don't know.
Yeah.
But that's not you're not pilots, it's not your thing. But you see it, and she's like, "Fuck," and she does this, and the thing like turns on its tail and goes spiraling upwards towards the clouds. Punches through the clouds, flips around. She's like, "Hang on, everybody," and just stands it up on its nose. And she's like, "Okay, 3 and 2," and you know what she's gonna do, Sarge. She's about to just like free drop you. Like this is the protocol. She's under fire. She's gonna like release the latches on your armor and like jettison you guys out with parachutes, and then she's gonna like try to draw their fire away or do whatever pilots do under those conditions. But you know that's
absolutely.
She's about to do that.
So I think one of the things that I say to the rest of the squad is I say keep your suits sealed and make sure to check your air tanks. And then
yep.
And then I
you guys
wait
feel
for the
like
drop.
Yeah, you feel yourselves like magnetically like pulled back into the rig.
Can I add just one detail? I feel like usually what happens is like the dropship comes and maybe like we have like cabling and they actually like drop and then like
quick rope down.
Yeah. But I think we hear the like chunk chunk as like the cables release prematurely and stuff.
And the back of the thing that your armor connects to, it has that the chute is on that. Like your armor doesn't have parachutes; it's like built into the dropship. So yeah, the cable goes zzz, and you hear this like clonk as the parachute module like attaches, and then instead of opening the APC doors or the landing doors, the armor suits just get hauled out like up under the wings of the dropship. You guys are like dink, and then it just lets you go. So she goes up, stands the dropship upright, and just like you don't really get jettisoned. You just kind of get like released into the air.
And scattered all over. Yeah.
Like at the point of lowest momentum, she's like hanging there for a second, and you guys go dink, and then she goes and hits the burners and just goes rocketing away from you. And you see another missile punch up out of the clouds, like, and it detonates, and you guys free fall down. So
can we tell if it's one of our missiles?
Test NFA. Anybody who wants to do that?
I got this. Yeah,
it sure is. Yep, it's like a shoulder mounted unguided rocket.
Cool.
Yeah, it's the Trooper rocket launcher. That's what it is.
Awesome. Do we land?
Who's parachuted before? Everybody?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Lucille is my pilot. This isn't the first time she's dropped us.
Oh, yeah, no way.
So, Sarge, you can make an NFA test for the team. Everyone's done it before. They know what they're doing. And you're just gonna try to land where you want, and you can tell me where you're trying to get everyone to hit, and this will determine how well that goes. Where do you want to go? Do you want to land on the base, or do you want to land somewhere else?
So when we flew across the base, there are still some of those plascrete walls, and we know that the rocket fire is happening from outside the base, right?
You did not see where it came from.
Did Lucille drop the materials too? So like the cache for that?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Nope.
It's okay. There are probably still mats at the base. There's stuff that hasn't been put up and it hasn't been sealed up, etc. Now, I know that the base got wrecked before, but I'm assuming that whatever it is has moved on and is attacking from the hills. So I'm going to choose like a defensible area and basically like drop us with some overview of the perimeters, but an easy egress behind some sort of cover kind of thing.
At the base, or
yeah.
Okay.
We're dropping right in.
You want to land?
Because like when we whipped across the base, we didn't see shit crawling across the ground. We didn't see people like arbitrarily firing at us. So I figured that it's a defensible enough position for a couple of seconds for us to catch our breaths and maybe take a look and see if that giant crater of an APC is still like viable, etc. Like the usual nonsense.
Cool. Okay.
I test NFA because Sarge.
So you're able to. Everyone opens their chutes at the right moment. No one gets separated or nothing weird happens. You probably like low open and then glide in pretty fast onto the base. And now we're going to test for dominance because you're getting right into it. Right.
Do we have like 3 seconds, or is it like the moment our feet touch the ground, we're in a firefight?
It depends on the dominance test.
Okay.
I will tell you. Yeah.
NFA, right?
Yep.
Hang on. Wait.
When we last, when I went down the first time, did they have that weird blood and injection thing?
No.
Okay, that's okay.
Now it makes sense, though.
That's new.
We'll see. Maybe it does.
Okay, so we're going to step through. This is the first time we're doing this. So just for the people at home and as a refresher to all of us, we will take this very mechanically to do it the first time. So the way encounters work, the first thing that happens, encounters can be a lot of different things. They're typically combat. Non-combat encounters are possible, but somewhat more rare. Usually that's just sort of free play. But when something is an encounter, you test for dominance first. And usually, if it's combat, dominance determines who ambushes whom. That's a possibility. What the starting ranges of the encounter are. It's like an engagement roll from Blades, kind of. Although it's the other way around. Blades is like a dominance test. So the way we do that is everyone who wants to test, at least one person needs to, otherwise you automatically fail. But one or more people can roll for dominance. And it is NFA for troopers, and it's alien ability for the opposition. So in this game, the GM, just like the players, I have just one stat. Actually, not like the players. I have AA, which is alien ability, and that's set by the prep of the game. There's a list of different possible AAs, and you check them off when you use them. So each planet like has its own different formula. In this case, I rolled highest FA as the option for aliens. So they have a 7. It's the highest FA of the PCs. So I have alien ability 7 for this planet. And that counts for the opposition, but I can also use it generically. I was talking about the mountain climbing example before. Yeah. If I want to, I could say that everything is AA7. I don't usually do that. I usually kind of just change it if it's not actually the opposition. Mm-hmm. So everyone who wants to is going to roll NFA, and I'm going to roll for the aliens.
All right.
And then there's a spectrum of options depending on how the rolls go. So who wants to participate in the dominance test? Sarge is going to roll.
Pasternak, you want in on this?
Goodman.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so we're all rolling.
I will roll against AA7.
Thank God. At least.
You always got to be frosty on the drop.
All right, so I got a 6.
I got a 1.
I got a 3.
Okay, so success and the number is like a thing in 316, right? If you succeed, we need to know the number, and then all the failures can kind of be processed after that. So
yeah, got it.
I passed. Since I passed, I'm like holding up that I got a 6. So
yeah,
when we're playing at the table, often what will happen is if you succeed, you'll like hold up the number that you succeeded with, so the GM can like quickly assess, who's on top. So right. I'm on top. I succeeded. The 3 of us succeeded. Goodman failed. Or no, you succeeded.
No, I succeeded.
Everyone succeeded.
Succeed 1. Yeah. Sorry.
It's just the bugs beat our successes by 1.
Yep.
Right.
So the bugs win.
All right. So everyone succeeds on their roll. So what happens is, the highest success is an alien. So there's different outcomes here. Yep. For example, if the PCs all succeed and the aliens fail, then the PCs ambush the aliens. That's one reason why you don't always want everyone to roll necessarily. It gives you better chances of getting a success, but it's less likely for everyone to succeed, right? So there's a little bit of gaminess to that there. So if all the PCs succeed and the aliens fail, the PCs get to ambush the aliens, which is very powerful. If the reverse happens, if I succeed and all of you guys fail, the aliens ambush the PCs, and then all the mixed results are different results. So in this case, I get to set the initial range of contact because I got the highest success. So obviously, I don't want to set it to near. Now, how much this is in character is an important question in 316, right? So
Mhm.
I, as the GM, know that these guys are very deadly at near range. The aliens might not know that, but maybe they do. And I may choose to set the range based on the aliens and what they're best. Aliens are generally close, as most aliens would like to be at close range. Generally speaking, Marines are better at near across the board. All the weapons kind of are like that. Most of them are like that. So by default, I might say close for the aliens. Whenever I get to pick, I might typically say close. That tends to favor the aliens. Near tends to favor the Marines. So I as the GM, can dial in how in character that decision is, and how like circumstantial it is. In this case, it is fairly in character, and we'll see why. I'm setting the initial range at close. So I'm going to move everybody in. I think you guys can move your tokens. You should be able to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone starts at close, and then I have 3 threat tokens that I'm adding in here. These red guys on the map. So the way it works is when someone does kills, when a Marine succeeds in fighting, they do X number of kills based on their damage for their weapon, but they remove 1 threat token. So each threat token represents an unknown number of aliens, kind of a nebulous thing. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of bad guys, and we don't really know. We don't track individual bad guys. So first encounter here is close. And you can also see on the range band, we can be in 3 different positions, close, near, and far. And there can also be cover positions at the top. So you might take cover in close, cover in near, cover in far. In this case, there is no cover at near or far range in this particular encounter.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to mark that here on the thing.
But there's close range cover?
There is close range cover in the base. There's walls
Right.
and doors and pillars and stuff. Like,
Got it.
Right in the close area where you land. You're getting attacked inside the base, which is a surprise. You're not getting ambushed, fortunately. There is cover here, but the base looked dead and quiet. And when you actually get your feet down on you, you come under attack. I'll describe what's happening here. But if you move out from close to near and far, the base they've cleared everything around for a nice open field of fire around the base, right? So there's like no cover within a couple hundred yards of the walls.
Yeah, totally.
By design. So what happens is you're coming down and you see bodies, right? You see like there's explosions and stuff. There's the other people from Pasternak's unit that didn't make it and were actually left behind, which is a little unusual. Pretty much for the most part, like dead guys get brought back.
Yeah.
This was a true evac, like we're out, cut the strings, we're done. So no one has come back to do anything yet. That's part of your job, presumably, is to like bury the dead or put them in caskets to send back to the ship or whatever your method is. So Sarge, you come in, you land. Maybe it's like a platform halfway up the wall, like a shooting position, like on the ring part of the wall around the base there. And there's a few dead troopers in their armor. As you land and look down to see like, what's his unit designation or who is this poor guy? He turns over on his back. His helmet is all cracked and it's opaque. It's like black. You can't see his face.
It doesn't matter.
He's missing his left arm. It's been shot apart. You've seen that kind of wound before, like bullets ripping the flesh enough so his arm came off. There's blood splatter all over the wall here and on the floor. His suit armor, where it's cracked and broken, there's black flakes, like little, like almost like reptile scales, or they're not shiny. It's like a matte, like a little sharp rock kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch of them all like clinging together like magnetic flakes do, like if you have those magnet toy with all the little flakes that stick to each other. It looks kind of like that coming out of the armor of his suit. And it's very shocking. Like they are dead. There's no movement. There's no breathing. You can kind of tell when someone's just lying there versus a corpse, right? He's a corpse. But as soon as you put your feet down, he rolls over, and around you, like behind Goodman, one of them stands up to his full height. This one rolls over. The one near you, Sarge, is holding a rifle, energy rifle. The one behind Goodman is just like raising. It doesn't make a sound, but it raises its arm like club-like over his head. And the nearby corpses just get up and come at you. So that's what's happening right now. Fun. And so I've set that to close. So we didn't specify, like by default you're carrying your weapon, right? Your rifle, your whatever. You can change your weapon. You can always change to hand to hand and grenades. Changing weapons otherwise, there's rolls involved for that. So that's dominance. They didn't ambush you, so they don't get free attacks. It's like the attack has just started. So now we go into combat rounds. Mm-hmm. So each round has a little process, and again, we'll step through this to sort of teach people how it works as we go. So each PC will decide what you're trying to do. That's just a free and clear discussion until we're happy with everyone's choices. There's no, you don't have to commit. You can be like, well, if you're doing that, I'll do this, and work out what you're trying to accomplish this round. If you're fighting, you're gonna be rolling your FA, obviously. If you're doing anything else, you're gonna be using NFA. So, and then I declare for the aliens. Usually the aliens will be attacking you. If I don't say otherwise, that's what they're doing. They can do other stuff, right? They can, of course, they can take other actions, but usually they're attacking you. So that's step one. Let's just do each step, and then we'll describe it as we go. So I'm attacking you. That's what the aliens are doing. What are you guys doing?
Can you explain cover?
Oh yeah, good question. So cover is another place to move. So there are like 3 places to move on the map: far, near, and close. When you're in like here, when you're in close, you can move into cover as a move in the same way that you would change range. Like stepping back to near or stepping into cover is the same action, same activity, moving your guy. Right. When you're in cover, if the aliens do a kill to you, like we'll see how that works, but when the aliens do a kill to you, instead of doing a kill to you, they outmaneuver you and they push you out of cover. So being in cover gives you like a little protection. When you would normally take damage, instead you get forced out. Right. Yeah. Cool. So it's good. It's very good. It's very dice dependent, like when you get to move and who goes first and all that, like impacts it a lot. It's not like a sure thing, but it's good as a defensive measure. So just to help you decide here. So if you're fighting, that's easy. You're going to be rolling FA. Successes do kills. There's a couple little extra things to that. If you're changing range, for instance, that would be NFA. If you're successful, you can change weapons and do that kind of thing. But basically, like the default thing is just moving, changing range is an NFA test. Just fighting is an FA test.
So I have a question. I'm about to try and break the game.
Yeah.
As the Sarge and issuing orders, if I were to tell everybody to move back, could I make an FA test to move people other than myself out of range?
You can make an NFA test, yes.
Yes, that's what
and move someone else instead of you. Yes.
But would I only move one person? Because I didn't know if I could move all of us into cover, kind of thing.
Move me to near. Move me to near.
Yeah, no shit. All of us need to move to near.
But me especially.
This is not a blanket rule. This is one of those case by case things. It's not a rule that you can do this and everyone gets to move. In this particular case, yes, you can make an NFA test to quickly. There's lots of nearby cover and ways to like cut yourself off from where the enemy is. Jump over the wall, whatever. So
I think that was what I was doing. Was I was, as we were dropping, when I was picking the drop location, because I rolled pretty well and stuff, the aliens still surprised us, but I had kind of gotten an aerial view, right? So like, if we're dropping like on a roof, on a wall, etc., like, and we have the position, I already have like the first method of egress out. So that's what I would like to do. As like, people are surprised by these things. I think that I'm firing a couple of wild shots with my sidearm and issuing orders, and I'm posting on their HUD like move here, then move here, then move here, and like starting a book, and that's what I would like to do.
Cool. So do you want to have your sidearm that's the weapon you're currently using?
No, actually I think it's an inefficient, it is very efficient at close range, but it is an inefficient weapon for the purposes of cover fire. So I think that, as previously established, my main weapon is my heavy machine gun, which still can fire in close, it's just shitty. Right. And I will probably use that. I will actually probably just like flick it and do like one of those Judge Dredd style things where I'm just like, high X, and then I like fire at the wall to try and separate us from like the oncoming crowd and book it.
Yeah, you could like blow open part of the wall and jump outside. That'll put you at near and away from the
That's the plan.
Total. Okay, cool.
Question.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I can't remember if this was a rule or maybe this was a house rule thing, but if you succeed in a FA attack, right, I attack, do you also get to move and like change bands for free, or is that?
Yeah. So if you succeed and you beat the enemy, also both, then at the end of your turn after you fight, then you can move one step.
Okay.
So you have to succeed and beat the aliens, and you move at the end of your turn, not the beginning.
Which is partially why I want to do what I want to do, because if you succeed but you don't beat the aliens, which is likely because they have a alien attack of 7. If you succeed and don't beat the aliens, then you wouldn't get to move. And I feel like if I move us out, it may protect us from their kill capacity, because they seem to be a close combat creature.
Yep.
Etc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, my order is to make sure that you guys get home. So I'm doing my job.
That is one of your orders.
Got to follow the orders. Order 4.
So Sarge is going to try to like lead everyone to near range. What are you guys doing?
I will follow the Sarge. If I can get to near range, I will pop off some rounds.
Shoot.
Absolutely. Same thing. Yep.
Okay. Easy peasy. All right. So you two will roll an FA. Sarge will roll an NFA, and I will roll for the aliens.
Shit.
I fail. Oh no, I rolled a D0.
Yeah, don't do that.
They actually get a D10, not a D0. Okay.
God damn it, aliens.
I'm gonna use my drugs to reroll.
Okay. So yeah, once per planet, you can use your combat drugs to reroll FA. If you roll a 10, you take a kill.
Yeah. Right. So I'm totally doing that. Fuck.
Wow.
Okay.
Welcome to Drugsville.
Yeah. I know exactly what this looks like, John. It's because I didn't take the second dose, so it fucks up.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I didn't take that. I did the second thing, and so now it's like my system's out of whack. So yeah, I'm like, it finally hits me down here. I take the drugs, and yeah, instead of everything looking clear, things do not look clear. Things like the saturation of everything is way high.
Yeah.
I can't and the double vision, and it's bad.
You get the psychedelic like rainbow trails, around like
yeah. Oh yeah, like
moving.
it's like the faster than light, like things are bending and like it's hyper saturated and it's not good.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
So you fail and you take a kill. So now I've marked it on your tracker there. You're a mess psychologically, mentally, like fucked up from this thing.
You can use his armor though, right? Or you wait for that?
You cannot use armor against combat drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
It's internal.
Yep. So that's fail. I
damn
got
it,
the highest success.
Pasternak.
I think I got a 5. So I got the highest success. So The aliens are gonna inflict a kill on everybody who either failed or rolled equal to or less than me. So now I have an option. Whoever is going first, the highest successful roll, whoever's currently going, you can choose to cancel your own success so that everyone else now fails behind you, and that turn is like over. That's a very useful thing. If like the aliens succeed and they go later and you know they're going to murder everybody, you can be like, I cancel everyone's successes, and you describe how you do that, like covering fire or whatever it is. I could do that here if I felt like you guys were seriously threatening me or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. So they go first. They inflict a kill on everybody. Unless you use your armor, Goodman, you're going to go to crippled.
Yeah, I'm totally using my armor. I have to. Yeah.
I will mark your armor. Everyone else will go to a mess, and I'll describe it in a second.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right. So the Sarge is doing it. You turn, you blast through the back of the supports on the plasticrete. I like that term. Wall. It gives way, and you're in the middle of that, like, whatever, like, come on, right? You're about to go. The guy in front of you with the energy rifle just pulls the trigger and isn't aiming at you really. It just, his arm, he clicks the trigger on and like waves his arm around like this in front of you, and it just goes and like fire goes everywhere, and it catches you. It rips across your armor, and you feel it punch you in the chest and stagger you backwards. Behind you, Goodman, you feel this like whipping, like stony tentacle thing crack down on your helmet. You're already seeing like rainbow trails, and your head just rattles around inside the helmet, and it goes. Your helmet protects you. You know, it's like clong, and it bounces off. Some of the little flakes like scatter into the air. And Pasternak, you didn't see them, but you hear this like dun 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 dun, and like holes start appearing in the plasticrete next to you, and you out the corner of your eye you just see the flashes of this auto shotgun, another one of these dead troopers. Maybe you recognize their serial number. They're kind of far, maybe not, but the shotgun boom 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 boom, and it catches you across the upper thigh and damages you.
I just got that leg fixed.
That's right, my new leg. You bastards. I didn't think about that. That's funny. Okay, so aliens attack. That's 5. 4.
I move assault to medium range.
Yep.
To near. Sorry.
Sarge succeeds. You guys scramble out. Boom, outside. And then, Morgan, you failed, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that is it for the round.
Does me failing the drugs count as a fail?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Taking it. Okay.
You keep the reroll.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, everyone's scrambled outside. You hear like shuffling and movement inside, and one of the guy with the energy rifle steps into the open breach and is like still just shooting, just and starts waving it into the opening. And the other one, the one with the tentacle arm that was by Goodman, you see them like clamber up over the wall, like leaning forward, and there's generally kind of like movement inside the base now. Next round. What are you guys doing?
Goodman, do your shit.
Oh yeah, I like squint my eyes really hard, and I just literally just do a vroom. Like we see the energy cannon spin up. We see like the little like coil patterns like quickly charge, like the supercharger or super capacitors just like shine blue, and we see like that beam go, and we just it looks like just a bright blue flash of light just.
Yeah,
like
I think
annihilating living
it makes
material.
That sound, you know, it's almost like a musical. It's like wah, like
yeah.
It sort of makes the
Michael
sound.
Bay, yeah, or yeah. I was thinking like Transformers transforming, like yeah. It just Yep.
Nice. Okay, so shooting, FA from Goodman. What are you guys doing? The aliens are attacking, by the way.
I'm shooting.
Shooting.
I'm feeding the aliens a grenade.
You can't. So I think, unless I'm mistaken.
Oh, you might have to be
Grenades.
close.
Grenades. No, grenades do 1 damage on near.
Oh, they do 1 kill. That's right. Yeah, they do 1 kill from near.
Sorry, kill. Yeah.
Actually,
yes.
you know what? I'll just stick with the weapon that I've been using, right? Like, so, like, I created that hole. I think I come out. I do like one of those like tuck and rolls, and I come up, and you hear the like shunk as like I plant myself, and I like connect the hose with the bullets to the MG, and I'm just gonna do suppressing fire.
Nice.
Suppressing fire. Sorry.
Nice. So you're shooting. Okay, everyone's shooting. I'm attacking. We all fight. Roll your rolls. Woo! 7, baby.
Damn it, John.
7. Read them and weep.
3.
Everyone succeeds?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, first I do a kill to all of you because I'm badass.
I'm crippled.
No, you don't. I use my armor.
Okay.
What does cripple do?
Goodman's crippled.
It doesn't. You don't take any penalties. You're actually going to be like obviously wounded and bleeding and stuff now, but it doesn't affect your rolls or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will use my armor.
Okay.
I clearly have a head wound. It has to be what I am. Right.
Sarge, are you using your armor or are you taking the damage?
Oh, I already said, yeah. Like the dude that's like spraying random fire, I think it like blows away like one of my insignia and like puts a crater where it says like Mandel Bright. Like there's just like a bullet hole covering a part of it, but I'm fine. Yeah, armor.
Okay. Sorry, I missed that part.
It's fine.
Yeah. So it's a little shocking. Like E rifle guy is just spraying and spraying and spraying, seemingly randomly. But when he connects with the sergeant's armor and it like sears a hole through, then all of a sudden he sort of locks in place, and his finger comes off the trigger, and then he goes dish, 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 and like starts shooting much more accurately at you. So the one with the tentacle, it whips like much longer. It gets nice and thin, like individual stones, like, and it comes whipping down and cracks Goodman in the head. Yeah, I think that's good. You're just
God, my head.
Bella's right. You realize now, like your armor saved you from before, but there's this big crack going down your faceplate.
Oh yeah.
All
my
the
HUD's
colors of the
offline.
rainbow, like the beautiful colors are bleeding through there, and it feels like your helmet's filling up with rainbow like fluid or something.
Yeah.
You know? And you feel like you're drowning inside the helmet now. Like it's just like it's like freaking you out.
I feel like I have to take off. Yeah, I probably throw off my helmet, right? Or wait, is this breathable atmosphere?
It is. Yeah. Sorry,
okay.
I didn't.
Yeah,
it is breathable. Yeah, so you can throw your helmet off.
Yeah, I have to. I can't see through this. Yeah.
Yeah. And Pasternak, you use your armor. He zeroes in and he shoots you where he hit you on the armor before. He shoots your leg again. He's like, blow, and your armor deflects it off your brand new leg. These bastards.
All right.
But then all of you succeeded.
Yes.
So you inflict kills on the aliens.
Finally.
And that's all of it, right? So each of these remove 1 threat token, and I have 3 in the fight.
Good.
So each of you remove a threat token. They are all gone.
Yep.
Do we roll for kills?
You roll for kills and describe the carnage.
Make sure it's the right number.
This is why I don't get kills.
2 on 2d6.
Wow.
There we go. 17 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, what is... Okay, so what does this even look like then?
Can I go first? Because I have an idea of what I'm doing.
Yeah, totally. You go first.
All right. So I think that you guys are laying down the majority of the damage, but I have order 4. And I think what happens is like I basically like I'm suppressing certain positions, and then there's a certain point where I just flick a switch, And we see, because we're going to be killing like 20 of these dudes, right? Like, So we see some of them like maybe like leaping past the walls or like scrambling through or whatever.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
what I'm
much all
doing-
the dead guys in the base. Yeah.
Right, so like we see like a wave, and they like hit the wall, and they start coming through in numbers. And you guys are mowing them down majorly, but there's like one or two that maybe like leap for you. And what I'm doing is I'm protecting the two of you as you're laying down the massive fire. So I only get 2 kills, but I get them like inches from your heads, kind of thing. Is that cool with everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good for me.
Righto, Sarge.
Pasternak, do you want to describe yours, or should I take it away?
No, I think I mean, yeah, I'll. I mean, I imagine you're just mowing down everybody, right? I mean, you've got a huge kill count.
E-cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I basically am. I'm picking off the ones that you're not. You're posing the center, and I'm going for the sides and taking my shots, but taking them well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Pasternak's he actually aims. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. What a concept.
Mine's all like messed up and trippy, and it's like I'm shooting. I'm not even like seeing the aliens that way. They like look like weird like Oompa Loompas or something. Like there's like different colors, and it's just like you see them like in reality they're just like vaporizing, but to me it's like they explode into confetti, and it's just like and we see these like fireworks like are just going off everywhere. In this in Candyland like looking place.
Yeah.
It's just straight up just completely trippy from the combat drugs. Just did
There's
not
that happy birthday mod for Halo when you get
Yeah.
headshots, right? It's like boom, there's confetti. Yeah. That's happening inside your head. But what we see out in the movie is the E-cannon like wah, and it wrecks part of the wall, and the berm collapses and like smothers all these guys in earth, and they're pinned. And then another shot like wah, and it just like glasses all the earth and burns them to a crisp. And I guess it's good for you in a way, Goodman. Like you're not killing your fellow troopers in your head. You're seeing like some other thing.
Go on to his happy.
Yeah, is that right? His happy
Yep.
place, drugs. Yeah. So after all this shooting from outside the base, like it gets quiet. There's dust in the air. Some of these like flakes of rock kind of like spiral off on the breeze, and one whole section of wall kind of teeters and collapses down. You see the damaged APC behind it, pushed up against some dirt.
Mhm.
And it's silent. You hear this sonic boom of Lucio like echoing off into the distance, and it's quiet. It gets super quiet, like no life, no birds or singing or anything like that. Just this completely dead, silent space.
I think that there's just a moment where Sarge detaches her like backpack and like basically like punches a section that has like a red cross on it and like pops out a med kit, right? And she's gonna wander over to Goodman and basically be like, always overdoing it on the juice, and she'll swap out one of his like drug canisters for like
with an inhaler.
No, it's like cataleptics to flush out your system. And I'm just basically like, because like this, I believe we heal one level between fights. Is that correct?
Yeah,
so,
as long as you have your med kits, yeah.
So while I'm retching, I say, I didn't have my breakfast this morning. And apparently I'm not having. I lost my lunch too.
So I'm
You're
like,
next, Pasternak.
all right.
Yep,
Go
I
ahead
just
and
got
play.
this goddamn
I'm just like
yeah.
putting like artificial flesh on you and like injecting you with like appropriate localized painkillers and nonsense.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna limp. I just got this fucking leg, and I'm gonna walk over and look at one of those troopers. Like, these are my former guys, right?
Yeah, they are.
Well, Huang, you always were an asshole, but I'm gonna try to replace the leg patch on my armor. Basically, patch my armor up using Huang's legs, because he only has a bottom of his body, but I recognize him. He did that weird tiger stripe thing on his leg patches, and I was like, oh, that's stupid. Come on.
Yeah, so you actually have once you start getting his armor off, and like looking at the dead here, there's enough stuff here. If you want to take some time, you guys could theoretically refresh your armor boxes by stripping these guys of their stuff, because it's like,
that sounds good.
you know,
We should do that.
However, before that, you get the first armor piece off. Can you test NFA for me, Morgan?
Sure. I fail.
Okay. So you guys see this. You're like standing right there, basically, Sarge. Goodman, maybe you're like getting your shit together, but you've been patching everybody up with your med kit. You roll the leg. The leg is kind of free from the body. Roll it around where you can get to the buckles, and it's kind of hard to take this armor off, but you know how to do it. You struggle with it for a second, and you finally like pop the clasp, and this black cloud of these little rocky things, like it doesn't explode, but it goes and like covers the faceplate of your armor. You hear the faceplate material like go and like start to stress. And from outside, Sarge, you see this like attaching itself, like sticking to the armor, and
this is
like,
why I told him to keep it sealed.
Looking for a way to get inside it. It doesn't automatically get him, you know, but it's covering his armor, and you can feel it from the inside. It just goes dark. You can't see. The whole faceplate is covered, and something is happening. It's like attacking you.
Can I? So, like it's basically like a cloud that's solidifying and trying to crawl through them, right?
It's a cloud, but the contents of the cloud are these little like pieces
crystals,
of rock.
or
like, yeah, like little black,
sure.
rocks.
I think that there's this moment where I'm like, oh god damn it, and like I start moving with purpose, but not with haste. Like I'm not like sprinting or anything else, but I think like I walk over to like one of the bodies and I like kick one over, and then I kick another one over, and I'm obviously like checking their contents, and I find like the guy that was firing the like one gun, and I pick up the gun, and this is what I like to do. Like I'm doing like a sciencey engineering thing, I guess. Like I hit it and I pop out the like cartridge and I like crack it, and it starts making like a hissing noise. And what I'm basically gonna do is like use that to like do an energy discharge to try and like just burn the shit off his face.
Sure, you're like breaking the energy cell.
Yeah, I'm jury rigging a flamethrower essentially
as a control. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
ignoring
there could actually
flamethrower that one of the guys might be carrying, but you know,
someone might have a flamethrower, possibly. But
we'll go with NFA. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, either way, right? Like in either case, you're gonna like look for something, grab it, and we're seeing that the Sarge is like a little bit techie, right? She has ideas. So let's see how that goes. This is just going to be a regular NFA roll. Strangely,
sold 6.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't explode and blow your hand off or anything.
There's maybe a hint that Sarge seems to be familiar with the tech.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just like punching things randomly. Like it's obvious that I'm like looking for parts, and like when I pull it out, I'm obviously like twisting components and like shoving a wire in or whatever. I'm just putting that in.
Yeah, right. So yeah. It's not like how does this work? You grab it and you break the one thing that makes it malfunction.
You overcharge the modulator, and of course, right?
Yeah. So from your point of view, Morgan Pasternak, you can't see for a second. You hear like thump 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 boots thumping. You hear the distinctive sound of an energy cartridge overloading.
Don't
you probably
move.
heard that before. And then your temperature gauges in your armor like go and like peg to the top, and it's like warning, hostile environment. And then you start to see it's like it clears for a second, and then it burns the material black. It's like soot, you know. So just for a second, you see the sergeant like spraying this discharge from the cartridge on your helmet, and you're able to burn it off, and I'll probably hit the piece of armor that you got off the leg too. So it's burned away. The little flakes, they don't get disintegrated by the energy. They like blow away, and you see them like go, not in the wind really. They like seem like they're in the wind, but they blow away towards one of the big coney tree formations. And they're gone. And you see from around you a few other of the bodies like sort of slump and move, and these tendrils of stones like retreat away back towards the field of coney stuff in the distance.
I think I hope I take the empty cartridge and I like toss it nonchalantly over one shoulder so that it, like, hits in the dirt somewhere, like a chunk behind me. And looking right at Pasternak, I go, "It ain't all about the kill counts, kid." And then,
Nice.
Yeah, seeing this, like, I need a helmet.
Get those seals green, also. And I'm gonna take like one of the water tabs, and I'm gonna crack it open, and like I'm gonna let it like turn into water, and I'm gonna mix up some of the paste of this, like something like local soil or some nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put handprints on our armor so that we can recognize each other immediately. Because if the enemy looks like us, I want us to be able to use our eyeballs as IFF.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, it's like this sort of red clay. So you have these red muddy handprints on your armor to mark yourselves. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, and that's I think that's sort of the last beat. We're almost out of time here. As we see that, we see the sergeant like boom and pull the hand back, and we see the handprint, and behind you the dropship's engines are whining, the landing gear coming down, the ramp is dropping, and Lucille's coming in to deliver the goods that you are supposed to have, right? And I think that's the last shot. We see the dropship land, and you're there at the now empty base with the deflated, now empty instead of corpses. There's like empty suits of armor and wrecked stuff all around the base.
Awesome.
Fade to black.
Yeah. Ah! Crap. I don't want to. Thank goodness I didn't die this first session. I might. I'm probably gonna die next one.
Missions on Daisy, so.
Yeah, I know. Oh, not great.
Daisy, day 1, 316.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't mark it at the end of the combat. The Sarge took care of it. Everyone heals a kill, so you're back.
Yeah.
Here. And then maybe next time we can see about scrounging armor and getting that restored.
Yeah, and completing the mission.
Maybe combat drugs too, Eric, if you want to.
Yeah, that would be really great. So awesome, cool. So then let's do some outros, John.
I'm John Harper. I'm a game designer. I write these kind of role-playing games. If you're into that stuff, if you're a fan of Eric's channel, you probably know what I make. But I make a game called Blades in the Dark, which you can buy now, and it is inspired in part by some of the great work Gregor did on this game. This game influenced many game designers in many different ways. So we're kind of going back to our roots here and exploring the origins of some of this indie game business. You can find me on Twitter. I'm John_Harper. It's a good way to contact me if you want to. And this was awesome. I just want to say, like, you guys are great troopers, and I really appreciate that you jumped into my shenanigans, paranoia-esque opening sequence there. Thank you for indulging me and letting me establish the tone and everything. That was fun.
Yeah. Cool. Strauss?
Hey, I'm Strash. You can find me at Strash A, also STRASA on Twitter. I am a consulting designer, which means that I generally work with other designers on their games, but I happen to write a couple of my own. You may or may not have heard of Scum and Villainy, which is a hack of John's Blades in the Dark, and I am super stoked to be playing 316 because I don't think I've played a game of it in like 7 years, and hilariously, I'm working on a game that may or may not have some similar themes called Band of Blades, which is fantasy instead of aliens, but a lot of the themes and the weirdness and the paranoia and the terrible enemies and all that and the very high kill counts are inherent. So maybe you'll get to check that out in the upcoming months, and I'll throw it to Morgan.
Hey, I'm Morgan. The Twitter handle is MC_Ellis, ELLIS. Yeah, I write for Evil Hat, and working on my own thing that I will be doing at Metatopia, which is King of the Street Fighters, a fighting arcade fighting game using Fate.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's me, Eric.
Hey, real quick, Morgan. I know. Our friend of ours, Dylan, is like super excited about that. By the way, I just wanted to share it. Yeah, Anyways, I'm Eric. I'm EricVulgaris on everything, and thank you all so much for hanging out, chat, for coming by and watching us play this. Of course, John, Strash, and Morgan. Thank you so much for coming on the show and doing this together with me. If you like other shows, if you want to watch more role playing stuff like that, I have a Torchbearer show on Wednesdays. To start out, we're doing the Keep on the Borderlands. It's a really fun crew and cast. A lot of fellow designer-y people on that as well. And then, of course, if you want to play role playing games with me, stop by my Discord and !Discord, and I have a Once Upon a Game show where we do one shots of various indie role playing games, mostly GM-less, some GM'd. We're kicking it old school again for November. We're doing Shooting the Moon, Remember Tomorrow, Troll Babes, like good stuff. So
do you still have slots?
Unfortunately, I think most of them are filled up, but I think we have plenty of standby slots, and who knows, I might be doing some more one shots. Anyway, they fill up fast, I know, but hey, I mean, that's a good place to hang out and talk more about games and all that kind of things. So thank you all so much, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this stuff, do me a follow here, it'd be great. John?
We will be back for session 2.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly when, but it'll be soon.
Yeah.
We are going to continue this for a few more sessions. So
yes, definitely. So
check in on Twitter. We'll tweet it when we're.
Yeah. Awesome. Yep. So that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're out of here. Take care.